When you reach 70, something quietly shifts inside. You begin to see life differently. The noise of ambition fades. The rush of responsibility slows. And what remains is the simple question that echoes deep within. What truly makes me happy now? Many seniors think that happiness in old age comes from being surrounded by children and grandchildren. But if you depend entirely on them for your joy and peace, you may end up disappointed, lonely, or even lost when they move on with their own lives. Love your children, yes, but do not hand over your emotional keys to them. Because at this age, real happiness and health depend on 5 powerful truths that are entirely within your control. The first truth is emotional independence. It is the ability to find peace and contentment within yourself without constantly seeking validation or attention from others. Many older adults unconsciously attach their self-worth to how often their children visit, call, or help them. When that doesn't happen as expected, sadness quietly creeps in. But studies have shown that emotional independence is one of the strongest predictors of life satisfaction in older adults. A 2018 research study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that seniors who practiced self-acceptance and emotional self-reliance reported significantly higher happiness levels than those who depended heavily on family support. Emotional independence doesn't mean isolation. It means learning to enjoy your own company, developing interests that excite you, and finding calm in solitude. When you stop expecting your happiness to come from others, you discover the peace that no one can take away. The second secret is physical vitality. At 70 and beyond, the body naturally slows down. But slowing down does not mean giving up. The human body is remarkably adaptable, even in older years. Movement, no matter how small, is medicine. According to a study published by the Harvard School of Public Health, walking just 30 minutes a day can reduce the risk of heart disease by up to 40% and lower the chances of developing dementia by 30%. You don't have to lift heavy weights or join a gym. Gentle exercises such as morning stretches, yoga, or even slow dancing to your favorite old song can work wonders. The key is consistency. Movement keeps your blood flowing, your joints flexible, and your mind sharp. It is the simplest, most powerful way to remind yourself that you are still alive, still capable, still strong. Physical health and happiness are deeply connected. When your body feels good, your mind follows. The third secret is mental engagement. A quiet mind can be peaceful, but a lazy mind becomes dull. After retirement, many people lose the mental stimulation that daily work once provided. This mental slowdown can lead to cognitive decline and even depression. But keeping the brain active through learning and curiosity can reverse this. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that lifelong learning reduces the risk of Alzheimer's disease and age-related memory loss. You could start reading books again, learn a new language, take up painting, or try playing a musical instrument. Even simple acts like solving puzzles, reading the newspaper, or engaging in thoughtful conversation help keep the neurons alive and firing. Think of your brain as a garden. It stays beautiful only when you keep tending it. Every time you learn something new, your brain forms fresh connections that keep it young and resilient. Remember, you are never too old to begin again. The fourth secret is social connection beyond family. Many seniors believe that their only meaningful relationships must be with their children and grandchildren. But human beings are social by nature. We thrive not just on love, but also on shared experiences, laughter, and companionship. Friendships at this stage of life are like sunlight to the soul. They keep you emotionally nourished and mentally alert. A long-term study conducted at Harvard University followed adults for more than 75 years and found that close relationships, not wealth, fame, or even genetics, were the strongest predictors of happiness and longevity. And those relationships didn't always come from family. They often came from friends, neighbors, or community groups. So make an effort to meet new people. Join a senior club, volunteer, or attend a local event. When you engage with others without expecting anything in return, you gain a sense of purpose that no amount of money or family approval can give. It is never too late to make new connections. The fifth secret, perhaps the most powerful of all, is purpose. When people retire, many feel they've lost their reason to get up in the morning. But life after 70 can be the most meaningful phase of all if you redefine your purpose. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It could be tending a small garden, mentoring a young person, caring for a stray animal, or even writing your life story. Purpose gives direction to your days and strength to your spirit. A study by the University of Michigan found that older adults who reported having a sense of purpose were more likely to live longer, healthier lives than those who felt aimless. Having something meaningful to do keeps your mind alert, your body active, and your heart full. It turns ordinary days into something worth waking up for. But here's something deeper. Each of these 5 truths is connected. When you become emotionally independent, you stop feeling lonely even when you're alone. That peace encourages you to move your body and care for your health. Physical vitality, in turn, fuels mental sharpness. A healthy body supports an active mind, and an active mind attracts meaningful friendships. Those friendships fill your days with laughter and shared joy, strengthening your sense of purpose. Together, these 5 keys form the true foundation of happiness after 70. Not children, not possessions, but inner balance, movement, curiosity, connection, and purpose. Now, let's be honest. It's not easy to change the mindset that has been shaped over decades. Many parents grew up believing that their children would be their emotional safety net in old age. But times have changed. Today's generation faces their own struggles, work pressure, financial challenges, and fast-paced living. They may love you deeply, but still be unable to give the time and attention you hope for. This isn't their fault, nor yours. It's simply the nature of modern life. Understanding this truth can bring immense relief. It helps you let go of resentment and move toward acceptance. Instead of thinking, my children don't care, you start thinking, they are living their own lives, and I will live mine joyfully too. That shift is where freedom begins. Think about this. Happiness that depends on others is fragile. It can vanish the moment expectations aren't met. But happiness that grows from within is unshakable. It stays with you whether you're surrounded by people or sitting quietly by yourself. So, wake up each morning and ask yourself, what can I do today to make myself feel alive? It could be as simple as watering your plants, calling an old friend, walking to the park, or learning something new. Small actions build big strength. With every step, you reclaim your independence, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. Your children might visit you once a week or once a month. They might call or they might forget, but your joy does not have to depend on that. When they see you thriving, smiling, and living fully, they will respect you even more. They'll realize that their parent is not someone to pity or worry about, but someone to admire. That is true strength, being your own source of happiness. Let's pause here and imagine a simple picture. It's a bright morning. You wake up without rushing. The sun touches your face through the window. You stretch your arms, make your cup of tea, and take a deep breath. You feel calm because you have plans for the day. Maybe tending your garden, maybe meeting a friend, or maybe just sitting on your balcony with a good book. You smile because you realize this peace is your own creation. You didn't wait for anyone to give it to you. That's real happiness. Quiet, self-made, and lasting. And when you begin to live like this, everything around you changes. Your conversations become lighter. Your body starts to feel younger. Your laughter becomes more frequent. You stop worrying about who visits or who doesn't. You become the kind of person whose presence brings warmth wherever you go. Because when your heart is full, it spills over naturally. If you ever feel lonely, remind yourself that loneliness is not the absence of people, but the absence of purpose. Pick one small goal every day. It could be walking 10 extra minutes, calling someone you haven't spoken to in years, or even learning a new recipe. Every small goal achieved adds a spark to your spirit. Research from Yale University found that older adults who maintained positive daily routines and goals lived, on average, 7 years longer than those who didn't. Routine is not boring. It's your secret structure for happiness. Also, never underestimate the power of gratitude. The simple act of counting blessings every day can transform your emotional state. A 2019 study from UC Berkeley found that practicing gratitude increased serotonin levels and improved mental well-being among seniors. Every night before bed, think of 3 small things you're thankful for. Maybe your health, the sound of rain, or the smile of a neighbor. Gratitude rewires the brain to focus on what's good rather than what's missing. Over time, this habit becomes a shield against sadness. Now, if you're listening to this and thinking, it's too late for me, let me tell you this truth. It's never too late. Life doesn't end at 70. In fact, for many, it truly begins then. You have wisdom, time, and freedom. The 3 things younger people often crave, but rarely have all at once. You have the power to shape this phase into something beautiful. You can rediscover yourself, build new routines, and create joy in ways you couldn't before. Remember, you are not a burden. You are not forgotten. You are a complete human being with endless capacity for love, laughter, and growth. The world still needs your light, your stories, your presence. You don't have to fade quietly into the background. You can choose to live vibrantly, proudly, and joyfully. So, stop waiting for your children to make you happy. They have their own lives to live, just as you once did. Instead, bless them with freedom and give yourself the same gift. Build a life that excites you, even in small ways. Take walks, talk to strangers, learn something new, be your own company. Because at the end of the day, the truest happiness doesn't come from who stands beside you. It comes from what lives inside you. After 70, your happiness depends not on your children, but on these 5 keys: emotional independence, physical vitality, mental engagement, social connection, and purpose. When you hold these close, you'll find that every day feels lighter, fuller, and more meaningful. You'll stop counting who visits and start counting your blessings. You'll stop waiting for love and start living it. You'll stop surviving and start thriving. And one day, when your children look at you, they'll see something beautiful. Not just an aging parent, but a person who found strength in solitude, joy in simplicity, and peace in independence. That is what true happiness looks like after 70. Not needing anyone to make you happy, yet loving everyone deeply. Not depending on your children, yet blessing them with your joy. That is the real secret to staying happy and healthy after 70. Living from the inside out, one peaceful, purposeful day at a time.